which I think is really cool. I've used it before, and this is really good for building simple applications. And hopefully, we'll be able to expand upon this semester. But you can have, like, for example, you're just literally going to go here. The main thing is you have a limited number of credits every day. So hopefully, when you guys sign up initially, you're going to get 10 free credits, and then you're going to get 5 per day. So just make sure the credits run out. So that's the only thing when you're building an application. It's similar to the solar idea. You can always pay for more, but I'm not for you. No one is forced to pay. So just to make sure you do it efficiently. You can just like here make me a simple tic-tac-toe game, and I want you guys to kind of. So we're just going to jump back over here first. Here to the project. I'm just going to make it a little bigger. So I want you guys to individually sign up. This can be done in teams of 1 to 3 for the project. I want you to come up with an idea for a website and then build the application using Loveable. So you guys are going to come up with an idea. I know many of you come from different backgrounds, international trade, digital marketing. There's other things. So this will give you the ability to build whatever it is that you guys want to build. Um, there will be a demo at the end, and I will also expect you guys to understand some of the code. So you can have, like, we're just going to take an example, like make a very simple tic-tac-toe game. You're going to see here, it's going to make a tic-tac-toe game. Oh, it takes a bit of time too, so just be patient with the tool. It crashes, as you know. This is a free tool like ChatGPT, and free tools, all free. So I just want to show you. But this is live, right? It's fairly, you'll see it's fairly quick. This is not me like recording a demo within 5 minutes. This will be done. So let's give it a moment here. It's You can see here the features it's building. So this really gives you the opportunity as someone who necessarily doesn't have such a huge programming background to then build applications. And then you'll also have access to the code. We're not going to go into that right now, but you will have access to this code as well, which will be in like a React. I believe you're learning React in some of your other classes, and you're also learning JavaScript, so you will be familiar with this code. So this will give you the opportunity in the future to, you can actually take the code you built here. So it doesn't just have to be a prompted website. You can actually download the code. We'll show you how to do that in the future. For right now, I think that's a bit beyond the scope of your knowledge at this point. But you guys should see this shortly. It should be completed, and you guys should see this short. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, here we go. You can see here. This is built just using one prompt. You see, I put X and then I put O. If I get say X to win, so showing you this is again with one prompt to list all the tools made. This is not perfect, right? I'm not going to promise you that whatever it is you want to build is going to work on the first try. It may not even work on the second try. And as with ChatGPT, you have to prompt it here. It can crash as well. It's not perfect. Um, but you can see there, and you feel it says player X wins. You do a new game. And so I think this is really fun because one, there is code behind this, so you can learn to understand the code. I think it should. You can see the code that's right here. You can actually see all the code it's making. So if you are curious about that, you won't be for the midterm project, you won't be required to understand all the code. I just like you to take a look at it. So you can see there's a code section here. You can also search. I'm not expecting you to understand everything here, but I'd encourage you to go through it a little bit. It also gives you the idea of, kind of like, okay, it does this really quickly, but it creates a lot of files. So there's a lot of work behind the scenes. So it allows you to kind of have the idea that, you know, it's easy to prompt right here. It's easy to make a simple thing, but when you want to make it more complicated, it's a bit challenging. So you can see the files, you can search here. See analytics. Yeah, you have to publish your project, which you can do as well for free. And then you have a website. So you can also very nicely, when you guys are done or when you guys are happy with what you have, you can publish it online. I think you get an additional 10 credits when you do that. You can see that. And we can just add another one here. Let's say I want you to keep. You can see here, I'm just prompting it. It'll take a little bit of time, right? You also have, like I mentioned, you have a limited number of prompts, so it's important to keep that in mind. But I want you guys to work together on this as a team, 1 to 3. I think this would be good for you guys, both in terms of it gives you the opportunity to build an application, and it's not so much coding because I understand that many of you are not so familiar with coding. So this will allow you to, I'd say, gain the coding experience without having to do a lot of coding. I think this should be really fun for a midterm project. I also encourage you guys to continue doing the solo learn. You can see here, this is great. Now it has the draws and the wins, so we'll just try out one more. Um, Like you guys can make whatever you guys want. Like it doesn't have to be a game. It could be whatever you guys want. And one thing I strongly recommend: try something simple. If you try, this is not great for things that are super complicated. So that'll also be a large part of your project. Is how you kind of find something which is simple that works nicely. I mean, if you think of like Instagram or TikTok, they're relatively simple applications, right? You can't do a billion things. Like just a funny thing on Instagram, right? Um, I can't embed a YouTube video on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that simple. Like I mean, in terms of an application, if I want to share a video that you can see on Instagram, it has to be a video which is uploaded to Instagram. I can't embed a YouTube video on Instagram. I'm saying so like these trillion-dollar companies are at their element not that complicated. So I want you guys to, okay, so let's just see here. Good, it works. The features don't always work as well. So here it's working, which is good. We'll try one more game. I just want to see O win. So I just want to have O win this time. Yeah, so I'm just going to test that, right? Not all features are going to win. That'll also be part of your mark. Will not just be, vibe coding, having a nice UI, but that your application actually works and that you can test it. And you prompt it, like if something does what you want it to do, that's great. If it doesn't, you let it know. You can reset scores. So I think this is super cool. I encourage you guys to, work on your own projects with this. And I'm going to pause here if you guys have any questions on this as of now. I appreciate the questions. It'll be good too. I'll hopefully send you guys a recording. So if you do have questions, what's it called? Useful not only for you guys now, but for the students who watch the recording as well. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. And just, yeah, and you can then also publish this. So if you publish this, it'll get a public link and you can share that with your friends, and which is also cool. Yeah. So if you don't have any questions, I want you guys to sign up. I want you guys to start. This is something called vibe coding. So I'll just put the term in the chat and start doing this. And yeah, that's kind of the goal. I'm going to pause here. I just going back to the point I mentioned before, like Solar, you get a certain number of credits per month. So you don't want to overuse your credits. You can always, of course, if you run out, you can always, um, you can always sign up with another email. You can also just like, for example, that's why it's three people. You guys can do it together. So you can have one account, you do like the raw one, like kind of you try it out. It may not work the first time. You're going to learn from your experience as well. You try something which is complicated, it may crash. But what's nice here as well, you have like a version control. So you can see your different prompts and you can see the app of this one, and you can always go back, which is nice too. Like right now we're doing this one, but we can always, for example, if we want, we can always go back. Previous one. And here you see, here's the raw game, right? 11:55 a.m. And here's the one here, which that's also was really good because you may reach a point where, you go forward and then you go backwards. So I think you guys are really like this. I think it's really fun. Um, I think you guys will really like it. And I think it's better build something, but don't have too much fun in the sense that I don't want you to get overwhelmed with it. So that's that. That's good. And just like I mentioned before to everyone else, make sure for those of you who are not here, right, that you've submitted the assignments. Try to also submit your resume. I'm going to open up the breakout room shortly just to review if you have your resume or you make sure you've submitted both assignments.